The following is a special live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for the 25th day of August, 2023. And we do have a doubleheader for you. I'm not sure what exactly this doubleheader is going to entail, but we start with the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. Despite the game being in Cincinnati, I will manage the Phillies because this game means everything to them. And for the Reds, they actually have clinched a winning record. They're 81-78. This is Saturday, October 6, 2001. So the Reds are playing out the string. The Phillies are fighting for their playoff lives at this point. So here's how we will do this doubleheader. These two teams played a doubleheader in real life on this date. It rained on Friday the 5th of October, necessitating that these two teams play a doubleheader on the 6th. If the Phillies win game one of this doubleheader, and it's Elmer Dessens versus Omar Dahl in a moment, we will do the second game of this Phillies-Reds doubleheader. If the Reds win the first of these games, then the second game of our doubleheader, we will go to Atlanta for Florida and the Braves, because Florida will have a chance to clinch if they win. So that's the setup for you. There are three teams with a chance for one spot, and maybe, just maybe, we can finish the regular season today. As Retro Sports Network presents 2001 in Action PC Season Odyssey. Starting at Synergy Field in Cincinnati, Ohio, it is the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Come on, there we go. And on this windy night in Cincinnati, it'll be Elmer Dessens who gets the call for the Reds. Elmer, of course, making his last start of the year. Remember, this is the season. He is 10-10. He's had a good year in a 4.31 ERA. Elmer, the last person on the planet named Elmer, is 29 years old. Fastball at 88 and a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched September 29th against the Expos in a 6-5 game and got the win, 7 2/3, 109 pitches, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a walk and 5 strikeouts. Overall for Elmer, 196 and a third innings. He should go over 200 in this start. 215 hits, 111 runs, 94 earned, 34 homers. He's walked 49 while striking out 126. I am going to manage the Phillies because this is the team that matters. Here's how they'll line up. Jimmy Rollins leads off at short. Marlon Anderson will play second and bat second. Bobby Abreu, the hero the last time we had the Phillies on, is in right. He'll go third. Pat Burrell in left cleans up. Travis Lee at first will bat fifth. Doug Glanville in center will bat sixth. Perez at third will bat seventh. Johnny Estrada behind the plate goes eighth. And Omar Dahl, who can throw about 110 pitches, will bat ninth. Again, if the Phillies win this game, we will have the second game of the Philly-Red doubleheader. If Cincinnati wins, we'll take you to Atlanta for the possible clincher for the Marlins. Gonzalez, by the way, as we set the defense for the Reds, a 4 and a 2 in left. Griffey is a 7 and 8 in center. Rivera a 7 and a 4 in right. LaRue is a 4 at third. Guerrero a 3 at short. Todd Walker a 7 at second. And Jennings a 2 at first. Miller behind the plate. This is not the A lineup for the Reds. Is a 5 and a 6. And Elmer Dessens is an 8 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. 67 degrees. Winds blowing out towards the Ohio River at 17 in right field. Jimmy Rollins stepping in at 268, 12 homers, and 62 RBI. Phillies at 83 and 76. Must-win game, or Florida will have the chance to wrap it all up in the second half of the doubleheader. Pitch to Rollins is a base hit up the middle. Griffey will pick it up, and that's how this one starts, and Rollins has good speed. Here's Marlon Anderson at 297, 5 homers and 39 RBI. How you doing? Happy baseball day. John, of course, is going to be rooting for the Phillies to sweep this. Happy baseball day indeed. And John is on a 22-month streak and is subscribed for 31 months. My goodness. We've been doing this a couple of weeks, eh? They throw to first for Rollins, and Jimmy's back. So Anderson, 297, 5 homers, and 39 RBI. Pitch from Dessens is a fly ball right field. Rivera should have that. He does. Rollins back to first. 1 out. If the division is not resolved in this doubleheader, Monday at 11:30, because if we need to resolve it, we would play 2 games. So these 4 teams again, we would do Florida and Atlanta and Philadelphia and Cincinnati, and the order depends on what happens today. So Monday would be the second doubleheader here to determine who's going to win the division. Bobby Abreu at 253, 34 homers, and 108 RBI. The playoffs begin Wednesday, right here on Retro Sports Network. The Phillies swept the Reds 3 games to end the season, John tells me, and looking at these lineups, I can see why. Pitch to Abreu. Ball 4. So first and second, 1 out. Philly is a half game out. They cannot lose the division today, nor can they win it. But with a loss in game 1, Florida then can eliminate Atlanta and make Philly's life a heck of a lot harder. John's vote for MVP is Bobby Abreu. Here's Pat Burrell. Pat at 256, 21 homers, and 94 RBI. Fly ball, center field. Griffey will make the catch. Rollins goes back to second. Is he going to tag? He is, but we'll hold him with 2 out. So here's Travis Lee, 267, 30 homers, and 87 RBI. Fly ball to right. Rivera coming in, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. Half an inning in the books, no score. So it'll be Omar Dahl making his 32nd start of the year, 10-10 with an earned run average of 420. He's 29 years old, fastball at 87, and a fly ball pitcher. Omar last pitched against these Reds on the 27th in Philadelphia, and they beat him 6-2. 5 innings, 92 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a homer, and a partridge in a pear tree. Or he walked 2 and struck out 5. 182 innings overall for Omar, 174 hits, 91 runs, 85 earned, 22 home runs. He's walked 60 and struck out 113. Here's a lineup he'll face. Todd Walker leads off at second for Cincinnati. Guerrero at short will bat second. Ken Griffey Jr. in center will go third. Rivera in right cleans up. Gonzalez in left hits fifth. LaRue at third batting sixth. Jennings at first seventh. Miller behind the plate. He's genuine draft at eight. And Elmer Dessens, who threw 17 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Pat Burrell is a 4 and an 8 in left. Glanville a 7 and a 5 in center. Abreu a 5 and an 8 in right. Perez a 5 at third. Jimmy Rollins a 5 at short. Marlon Anderson a 6 at second. Travis Lee a 7 at first. Estrada a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Dahl is an 8 with a 974 fielding percentage. Over from the Rockies, Todd Walker at 304, 5 homers and 26 RBI. Pitch from Dahl. There's a ground ball to Rollins, who makes a diving stop on the grass, throws to first, 1 out. So we're going to be fair to whoever wins the National League West. So the American League playoffs will start Wednesday, noon and 8:30. It's a split for those. No graphics for the LDSs. That's just too much. Thursday will be game one of the National League Divisional Series. Again, a split at noon and 8:30. Wilton Guerrero at 329 and 7 RBI. Pitch from Dahl. There's a fly ball, center field, Glanville, 1 out, or 2 out. For Ken Griffey Jr. at 303, 23 homers and 66 RBI. The Reds didn't miss the playoffs by much, having a good year at 81 and 78. Pitch to Griffey. Fly ball, right center, Glanville. Meanders over, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 1 here at Tenergy, no score. So Glanville, Perez, and Estrada dug at 278, 19 homers, and 79 RBI. We will quick sim after all 4 of the LDS Game 1s. Games 2 and 3 of that series. And so Friday would be any American League Game 4, or if those series are done, National League Game 4s. And then we'll go on from there. The hope is by Monday or Tuesday of not next week, but the week after, we can start the LCSs. Doug Glanville at 278, 19 homers and 79 RBI. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So remember, the plan for the League Divisional Series is you'll see every game 1, and then every game 4 and 5 if needed. Chopper to third. LaRue comes in. Long throw over to Jennings, and Glanville's running, and he beat it out on the bang-banger. So an infield hit for Doug. He has 33 steals on the year. He's not going here. Tomas Perez at 331, 3 homers and 25 RBI. Throw to first, and Glanville is back, but doesn't gain much trying to steal. Ground ball, left side, a base hit. Gonzalez, they'll check it back in. They won't try to run here. LaRue with the bad play. Here is Estrada at 225. The catcher has 10 homers and 37 RBI. So first and second, nobody out here for the Phillies. There's a line drive to third. LaRue is there. 1 out for Dahl, who's going to bunt. When he hits, he's not a bad hitter. 255 overall, 13 for 51, 2 doubles, and 2 RBI. But he's going to square here. He does, and it's fouled off. And the count goes to 0-2, and now you got to have him swing. So Glanville on second, Perez on first. 2 strikes to Dahl, 1 out, and a scoreless game in the second. And Dahl chops that one. They're not going to get 2. Guerrero, oh, they might get 2. He takes it to the bag himself for 1 and throws to Jennings, and Dahl beat it out. So it's a fielder's choice. They can't turn it. 6, 6. No, it's just 6. 6 unassisted. So first and third for Rollins, who singled his first time up. Elmer Dessens opening the 9th inning in 2/3, 36 pitches, 3 hits and a walk. Phillies just trying to get one home, keep their season alive. Pitch to Rollins, fly ball, left field. Griffey in the gap makes the catch, and the Phillies get nothing. No runs, 2 hits. They've left on 4. Through 2 after an inning and a half, no score. So Ruben Rivera, Gonzalez, and LaRue to face Dahl. Yeah, this game is very accurate, John. All of Dave's games are very accurate. The football one to a T. Ruben Rivera at 206, 4 homers and 28 RBI. Dahl winds and deals. Ground ball to third. Perez stops it from his knees to throw to first. Lee on the bag, a big smile, 1 out. So here's Raul Gonzalez getting his cup of Tim Hortons with the Reds. 2 for 5. 3 for 14 in real life. And he draws a walk. So Dahl lost him on a full count curve inside. So here's Jason LaRue at 233, 11 homers and 42 RBI. Jason has sent a cease and desist letter to me asking him never to call him Johnny LaRue ever again. Pitch to LaRue. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Burrell. Pat to the track, and that is off the wall. So Gonzalez should round third. He will. Burrell's going to throw to the plate with 1 out. Rollins goes to Estrada, and Gonzalez is in there. And it's 1-0 Reds. So Robin Jennings at 246, 3 triples and 1 homer with 5 RBI. LaRue on second. And what happens is when you can't drive home runs, you'll lose ball games. Philly needs to do better than that. Here's a pitch to Jennings. There's a fly ball to the left. The crowd likes it. So does Burrell, and Pat will make the catch. LaRue will hold at second, 2 out. For Corky Miller, a household name in his own house. Hitting .306, 5 homers and 14 RBI. So he has bested his regular season number or real life numbers by a ton. So 2 out, 1-0 Reds, bottom of the second. Fly ball, right center. Glanville will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Reds break through first on a hit, and they'll leave a runner on. We go to the third here at Synergy, 1-0 Cincinnati. So Anderson, Abreu, and Burrell to face Elmer Dessens. Marlin is 0 for 1. Liner to right, that's going to drop in front of Rivera for a base hit. So the Phillies have the leadoff runner on for Bobby Abreu, who was pronounced by the Philadelphia Phillies fanatics as their MVP in 2001, with good reason. 34 homers, 108 RBI. He walked his first time up. Dessens from the stretch. Popped up center field. Griffey going back a bit, but will make the catch. And Anderson goes back to first. Wind's blowing out to right at 17 towards the river. Old Man River liking the breeze. Here's Burrell, who's 0 for 1. Base hit left field. Gonzalez on a hard hop out there on the grass. And Anderson will hold at second. So first and second, one out for Travis Lee, who is 0 for 1. That's the 5th hit for the Phillies, but they don't have anything to show for it. Ground ball to Walker, and they still might not. Guerrero for 1. Wilton throws to first, and it is a 4-6-3 double play. Muska Mouseketeer. No runs, 2 hits, a runner left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. John's pulling his hair out. I don't know if he has any left to pull out, but he's pulling it out. 1-0 Reds. So here's Elmer Dessens. Elmer at 150, 9 for 60 with 2 RBI. Dessens, base hit left field. Burrell will toss it back in. Nobody out for Walker, who's 0 for 1. Omar Dahl, kind of a victim of the lack of offense by the Phils. 38 pitches, 2+ innings for his opening 9, 2 hits, and a walk. But there's still, that run that the Reds had is earned. So 1-0 Cincinnati. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch to Walker. There's a liner in the left center that's going to go all the way to the wall. That hit the gap and bounced. Dessens is going to hold at 3rd. Walker has his 15th double, and the Reds are rocking it here in the 3rd. So here is Wilton Guerrero. You're not going to walk him to face Griffey. Guerrero is 0 for 1. And if there was a time for a strikeout for Dahl, it would be right now. Ground ball to first. Lee takes the shore out at first. Dessens scores. Todd Walker goes to 3rd. And it's 2-0 Reds. For Ken Griffey Jr., who's 0 for 1. There's a vendor in the Philadelphia section who is now selling plain paper bags with holes cut out over the eyes. The Philly fans aren't appreciative of the joke. Pitch to Griffey, and it hit him. So Griffey gets the first base hit by a pitch. So 1st and 3rd, that might come back to backfire, as now the Phillies have set up the double play. Here's Ruben Rivera, who is 0 for 1. Dahl kicks and fires. Struck him out. 2-2 fastball looking. And now it's Raul Gonzalez, who walked and scored in the 2nd. Pitch from Dahl. Fly ball, shallow left, and yep, that's the inning. Burrow will make the catch. The Reds get one more on 2 hits and no errors. They've left on 3 after 3. It's Cincinnati 2, Philadelphia nothing. So Glanville, Perez, and Estrada to face Dessens here in the 4th. Glanville singled his first time up. The Phillies have had 5 hits, but it's a bagel on that run column. Pitch to Glanville. They play for the bunt. He's swinging. That's down the line and left. Gonzalez makes the catch, 1 out. Here's Perez. Tomas singled his first time up. Long drive, right center, and gone. So Perez took that Dessens pitch and hit it into the batter's eye, and it's a 1-run gain. That ball was pounded. He got all of that one. And it's now 2-1. The Philly fans watching on the stream in the ballpark have their fingers kind of permanently crossed. They've taken super glue to them just to try to give them good luck. The good news is for the Phils, they're on the board. Here's Estrada. He's 0 for 1. For Perez, that was his 4th of the year. Pitch to Johnny. Fly ball, left center field. That's going to get down in the gap all the way to the wall. Griffey throws it into third. And Estrada is the tying run on second. Jennings and LaRue are going to play for the bunt. Remember, first time up, Dahl couldn't get it down. Phils now have 7 hits. Miller and Dessens change the signs with a runner on second. Dahl squares. It's down. Jennings goes to third to get the slow Estrada. So Dahl is on first. Estrada, who got out of the blocks there like molasses in January, and easy out at third. So Larry Boa says a word or 10. And here's Jimmy Rollins, who was 1 for 2 with a single. Dessens opening 18, 66 pitches, 3 2/3, 7 hits. The solo homer a moment ago to Tomas Perez and a walk. 2-1 Reds, 2 out here in the top of the 4th. Pitch to Rollins, ground ball to third. LaRue to Walker, and that'll do it. 1 run on the solo homer by Perez, 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th here at Synergy. It's the Reds 2, the Phillies 1. So, the only thing you need to concern yourself is with the National League East. Philadelphia, who you're seeing right now, a half game behind Florida. The Phils were rained out on Friday. And remember, Atlanta beat Florida. So, the situation is this. We're doing the Phils and the Reds as the opener of a guaranteed doubleheader because these two teams do play too. If the Phillies win this one, we will do game 2 of the Phillies and the Reds. If the Reds win, we will go to Atlanta for Florida and the Braves. A Florida win eliminates the Braves. Got that? There's still a quiz on this later, by the way. So that's the situation. If the Phillies win, we'll do the second game of the Phillies and the Reds. And again, Monday, whatever matters will be what you see. It's a 3-team race. And oh, by the way, let's just make it simple. Atlanta, if there is a game 163, can't host anybody. Philadelphia can host Atlanta. Florida will host either Philadelphia or Atlanta. And if, and you can start singing Bread in your head. If we need a 3-team playoff to decide the NL East, the Braves will play Philly in Philadelphia. And if we need, of course we will, another game after Atlanta and Philly, the winner goes to Miami to play the Marlins for a chance to play Houston in the playoffs, which we will be glad to share with you. That gets a copyright strike. I'm not responsible. And I think I put my audience to sleep. It'll be LaRue, Jennings, and Miller to face Daw here in the fourth. Jason doubled and drove home a run. He walks this time around, and the leadoff runner is on for Robin Jennings, who is 0 for 1. You can take out the earplugs. I'm done singing. So 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Reds. They've left on 3. The Phillies, they got one back in the fourth on 7 hits, no errors, and they have left on 6. Jennings is 0 for 1. Struck him out. Dog got him on an 0-2 curve on the outside corner looking. So here is Corky Miller, who is 0 for 1. Dahl's pitch. Base hit left field over the leap of Jimmy Rollins. And so 2 on and 1 out for the pitcher, Dessens, who singled and scored earlier. Lee and Perez play for the bunt. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Reds. Dessens squares. Lee has it. Goes to third and they get LaRue. So Corky Miller moves to second. And Dessens will reach for Todd Walker, who was 1 for 2 with a double. 76 pitches for 18 batters for Dahl, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs. As we cross the noon hour here in the East. So Miller on second, Dessens on first. I don't believe Florida can clinch the division today unless the Reds win them both. Got him! So Dahl gets out of it. It wasn't clean, but he got out of it. No runs, a hit. The Reds have left on 5 overall. We go to the fifth at Cincinnati 2, Philadelphia 1. So Marlon Anderson 1 for 2. Marlon has a single. So if the Reds sweep the Phils and Florida beats Atlanta, it's over. Line drive center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Marlon Anderson wants to play meaningful baseball. He's on with a single, and here is Bobby Abreu. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Dessens over 200 innings on the replay now. Long drive, right field. Phillies lead it. Bobby Abreu strikes again. That is in the bullpens in right center field. And the Phillies go up by the score of 3-2. Time and time again, Bobby Abreu has saved the Phillies bacon. And you never know what that means in the long run. But for now, they are ahead by the score of 3-2 on Abreu's 35th of the year. 347 feet down the line. And even the guy that's usually in the Philly Fanatic outfit is high-fiving him in the dugout. So despite stranding all those runners, the Phillies are now ahead. Here's Burrell, who was 1 for 2 with a single. Got him. He chased a fastball. Strike 3. So here is Travis Lee. Travis is 0 for 2. What a shot by Abreu. Lee has a base hit in the right field. Rivero will pick it up. So a 2-out single. That is the 10th hit for the Phils. Here's Glanville. Doug is 1 for 2. Dessens has not covered himself in clover in this one for sure. Struck him out. So 2 out, a 2-2 curveball got him looking for Tomas Perez, who hit the home run in the 4th to make it a 2-1 ball game. Dessens walked him. I hope someone is giving John some oxygen. Here's Johnny Estrada. Johnny has a double. He is 1 for 2. It'll be Lee on second, Perez on first. 2 out. 3-2. Phillies now lead on the Abreu homer. Ground ball to Guerrero. Wilton takes it to the bag himself, and we're halfway home. Game 1 of our NL East doubleheader. On a cold and windy day here in Burlington, it's 3-2 Phils. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. It's a doubleheader day on Retro Sports Network. The second game of this doubleheader will be determined by who wins this one. If the Phillies win, you get the game 2 between the Phillies and the Reds. If the Reds win, we go to Atlanta for the Marlins and the Braves. Join us late. Here's how we got here. Jason LaRue, an RBI double in the second. To score Gonzalez to make it 1-0 Reds. Then Wilton Guerrero, a fielder's choice to make it 2-0 in the third. And back come the Phils. Tomas Perez, a monster home run to the batter's eye in right center, his 4th of the season, to make it 2-1. Then just a moment ago, Bobby Abreu, a 2-run smash, his 35th home run of the season, to make it 3-2 Phillies. Elmer Dessens pitching like Elmer Fudd, 5 innings, 10 hits. 2 homers, 3 runs, all earned. Omar Dahl, 4-hitter through 4 and 2 early runs. And as John says, come on, how can anyone say anything bad about Abreu? Between games, we'll talk to his 3rd grade teacher. I bet she'll have a couple things to say. Here's Guerrero. Wilton is 0 for 2. And grounded into a fielder's choice for his 8th RBI. Dahl, for the first time tonight, has been given the lead. Struck him out. Oh, 1-2 fastball got him looking. So here's Ken Griffey Jr. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. And he's now 0 for 2 as Rollins snares that one. 2 out for Rivera, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Dahl should pitch the 6th. Long drive, left field, tie ball game. Maybe not. So as soon as I said that, Ruben Rivera went the opposite way down the left field line to tie this ball game at 3. His 5th of the replay. No, that's a right side hit. And Dahl just caught too much of the plate with that, and all Burrell could do was turn and watch it go. So now it's 3-3 for Raul Gonzalez, who has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. That's the 5th hit allowed by Dahl. Fly ball, left field. Burrell coming in, makes the catch, and that'll do it. The home run by Rivera changes the complexion of this ball game. We head to the 6th on a windy night in Cincinnati, 3-3. So Dahl will bat. They're going to try to get one more inning out of him before going to the pen. Base hit left field. How about that? Griffey picks it up on a hard hop, and Dahl is going for two. The throw to Walker, and Omar has his third double of the replay. That's the 11th hit for the Phillies. Desson's opening 27 batters, 99 pitches, 5+ innings, 11 hits. The homers by Abreu and Perez. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Jimmy Rollins has high hopes. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Slow ground ball. Guerrero on the grass. And they're just going to eat it. And so it'll be first, maybe third. I haven't seen it yet. Elmer's day is done. Here comes Hector Mercado. A pitching change here in the 6th at Synergy Field in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is a double switch. So Mercado will bat in the 5 hole, and Dimitri Young moves to left. He'll bat in the 9th hole and is a 6 and a 6. Runners on the corners. Mercado making his 61st appearance. He's 27 years old. Fastball at 94 and a ground ball plus pitcher. He is 3 and 6 on the replay with a 4.56 ERA. He last pitched against the Cubs 3 days ago in a 5-2 loss. 1/3 of an inning, 11 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. So overall, Hector has thrown 51 1/3 innings, 48 hits, 31 runs, 26 earned, 5 homers. He has walked 32 while striking out 62. Runners in the corners for the Phillies and nobody out for Marlon Anderson, who is 2 for 3. Marlon has singled twice and scored. Poor John has chewed off all of his fingernails. Pitch to Anderson. Base hit left field. Dahl will score to make it 4-3. Rollins is going to hold. And here comes Bobby Abreu. Bobby is 1 for 2. He is now 35 homers and 110 RBI. He is also walked. It's Rollins on second and Anderson on first, with Burrell on deck and nobody out here in the 6th. Pitch to Abreu. Struck him out. He got in the chase, an 0-2 curve. So 1 out for Burrell, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. And this jam-packed, pressure-packed situation is brought to you by the Keystone State Association of Package Stores. Come on. You know you wanna. This message provided by the Keystone State Association for Package Stores. Gets away from Miller on ball 4. Burrell draws the walk. Bases loaded on a full count fastball. And that'll bring up Travis Lee, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and grounded into a double play. So with 1 out, he can maybe break this open, or hit into another double play, or something else. Rollins on third, Anderson on second, and Burrell on first. Philadelphia looking for win number 84. Miller and Mercado change the signs. Hector deals. Struck him out. That's huge. It was tipped in the glove of Miller. 2 out for Doug Glanville. Dougie is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. The Phillies, by the way, have left on 8. They lead it 4-3. Pitch to Glanville. Base hit right field. Rollins will score. Anderson chugs around third. Rivera will throw it in the infield, and it's 6-3 Philadelphia. And that'll bring up Tomas Perez, who has a solo homer and a single and a walk. So a big hit. So Perez is 2 for 2. The Phillies lead at 6-3. Mercado not pitching all that well. Perez, ground ball to third. LaRue should have it. He goes across the way to first to Jennings, and that will retire the side. But the Phillies get 3 on 4 hits and no errors. They've left on 10 after 5.5, 6-3 Phils. There's LaRue. It'll be Jason LaRue, Jennings, and Corky Miller to face Dahl here in the 6th. And actually, that worked out pretty well because Dahl is due up second in the 7th. LaRue has a double, a walk, and an RBI. Dahl starts the 6th. Fly ball, left field. Burrell ran out of room. Somebody from North Carolina made that catch. 1-2 the count. Struck him out. That's 5 for Dahl. Andrew, how are you? So swung on and missed. 1 out for Robin Jennings, who was 0 for 2 with a walk. Somewhere, John Midlife Crisis is writing a thank you note to Doug Glanville. And you know what? Glanville would understand it. Pitch to Jennings. Ground ball to third. Perez across the way for the out, 2 away. John's oldest daughter's first favorite player was Travis Lee. The first game we took her to when she was 3 was the Fanatic's birthday. We had great seats about 5 rows from the end of the Phillies dugout, and my daughter could read the name Lee in his jersey. How awesome is that? That is awesome. There's Corky Miller. Corky is 1 for 2. And the quip about sending a thank you note to Glanville, Doug is a huge player of Stratomatic, so he understands the whole sports simulation and replay bit. Miller has a single. Dahl deals. There's a liner to left that's going to fall in front of Burrell for a 2-out single. We are all doing better. Sarah showed some concussion symptoms this week. Got to be careful with her and bright lights. Cat's doing better. Here's Dimitri Young with 2 out. Dimitri at 282, 19 homers, and 71 RBI. So Miller on first, 2 out. Remember, it was a double switch for Mercado, and the pitcher's in the 5-hole. Pitch to Young. Liner to Rollins, and that will take care of it. Chris Pearsall coming in to pitch. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6-3 Phils. So Pearsall, all doing better. All doing better. Been a long week, Andrew. Pearsall making his 15th appearance is 1-0 with a 3.46 ERA. He's 23, fastball at 92, and a ground ball plus pitcher. He last went on the 4th, so 2 days ago against the Cubs here in Cincinnati in a 7-6 loss. He went 1 inning, 16 pitches, and a strikeout. 13 innings overall, 12 hits. I appreciate that. Thank you, Andrew. 12 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. My mother is blessed with good health at 71. and has just whatever we've needed. She's made the 45-minute trip several times in the last week since Sarah fell. God bless her. She's a hell of a person. Estrada 1 for 3 with a double. Struck him out, so Pearsall starts his outing with a strikeout. Omar Dahl, his day is done. Who can hit a righty? I'm seeing some 333s. Brian L. Hunter will get the call as a pinch hitter. At 306, 2 homers and 8 RBI. Overall, 290, 2 homers and 15 RBI. Glanville is very accessible on Twitter. Once sent him a photo of your scorecard while he hit an inside the park home run because it was part of his podcast intro, and he commented. And he's also commented a few times when you tweeted him about Strat. See? I told you. You send him a thank you card if the Phillies win the division, or that 2-run single in the 6th. He'll be quite appreciative. Pitch to Hunter. Line drive left field. Young will grab it. Hunter's digging for 2. The throw to Walker is going to be close, and Hunter has his 4th double. So 1 out for Rollins, who was 2 for 4. Jimmy has singled twice and scored a run. Ground ball to third. LaRue over to Jennings for the out. 2 away. Hunter on second for Marlon Anderson, who is 3 for 4. The Phillies have pounded out 15 hits in this one. 3 singles, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Remember, Phillies win, we do the game 2 here. Reds win, we go to Atlanta for that game. And Anderson gets hit. Winks at Pearsall as that one hits him in the leg. And again, here comes Bobby Abreu. Abreu 1 for 3. Hit his 35th of the year already in this game. Has driven in 2. Has walked and struck out. And with 2 outs here in the 7th, Hunter on second, Anderson on first. Abreu would love to crack this egg open. Won't, well, it's a walk. So Pearsall lost him on 4 pitches. That 3-0 fastball was high, and that will bring up Pat Burrell, who was 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and struck out. So Hunter on third, Anderson on second, Abreu on first. And Pearsall walked him. He walks home a run. And that'll do it for Chris. Another Chris. It's Retzman coming into pitch. It's now 7-3 Phils. So Retzma making his third relief appearance. He's 10-10 with a 4.67 ERA. Chris is just 23. Changeup at 85 and a fly ball pitcher. He has pitched in relief the last 3 times, well, maybe twice. No, the last 3 times. His last start was September 10th. He pitched out of the pen in a 5-2 loss to the Cubs on the 3rd, so 3 days ago. 1 inning, 19 pitches, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. So Retzma, who can throw 65 pitches and will be batting 5th, overall 162 innings, 163 hits, 98 runs, 84 earned, 23 homers. He's walked 44 and struck out 79. Travis Lee 1 for 4. A single, a strikeout, grounded into a double play. They are loaded. It is 7-3 Phils, 2 out here in the 7th. And Lee gets hit, and another run scores. Now, why you would be throwing at a hitter when you're already down runs? So here's Glanville, who says, if you hit me, The entire Stratomatic Army's coming after you, fool. Glanville is 2 for 4. He has singled twice. His 2 RBI single made it 6-3 fills in the 6th. And he has struck out once. So they remain loaded. 2 out, 8-3 fills. Retzma deals. Struck him out. Stretch time, 8-3 Philadelphia. Eight runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Phillies. They've left on 13. The Reds, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they've left on 6. Real Cormier coming in for his 60th appearance. He is 6-3 with a 3.77 ERA. He's 34 years old, fastball at 84, and a fly ball pitcher. His last outing was against the Braves 4 days ago in a 6-4 loss. An inning, 12 pitches, a hit, and a strikeout. Overall, 57 1/3, 52 hits, 25 runs, 24 earned, 5 homers. Has walked 24 and struck out 39. Todd Walker will lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Reds. They trail by 5. Walker 1 for 3, a double and a strikeout. Cormier starts his ninth with a base hit in the left field. Glanville will pick it up. Walker is going to go for 2. Nope, he's not. Faked me out. 7th hit for the Reds. The wind's blowing out to the Ohio River at 22. That's right field. 64 degrees here in Cincinnati. Wilton Guerrero is 0 for 3. He has an RBI and a strikeout. And Brady Clark will pinch hit. Clark, as a pinch hitter, has 2 home runs and 7 RBI, hitting .250, overall .297, 5 homers, and 13 RBI. Ken Griffey Jr. on deck. 8-3 fills, bottom of the 7th. Base hit left field. Burrell cuts it off. Walker will hold. And Cormier will get Griffey, and that'll be it. Was this how this field really looked? In 2001, I'm not sure when they... Yes, for one season it did. They built Great American Park in left field, where this left field was. So there was a year where the grandstands came down, and this is genuinely how it looked. Whether it was 2001, I'm not sure. Remember, the Bengals moved out in the mid-90s or the late 90s to Paul Brown Field. So there was a time when they were building the new ballpark in Cincinnati that it looked like this. Griffey into right. Back goes Abreu. Bobby to the track. It's gone. No, it's off the wall. Off the wall. Walker scores. Clark on to third, and it's 8-4. They get Cormier. They bring in Jose Santiago in. It's the Phillies 8, the Reds 4. So Santiago over from the Royals, making his 64th appearance. He is 3-4, a save, and a 4.66 ERA. He's 26, fastball at 85, and a ground ball plus pitcher. He last pitched against the Braves 2 days ago in a 5-4 loss, 1 inning, 12 pitches, and that's it. 65 2/3 overall. He's only been here since the 6th of June. 68 hits, 35 runs, 34 earned, 9 homers. He has walked 17 and struck out 23. 8-4 now. Brady Clark on third. Ken Griffey Jr. on second for Ruben Rivera. Nobody out. And they'll walk Rivera for the pitcher spot. They'll concede the run. They'll gladly trade 2 for the price of 1. And D.T. Cromer will be the pinch hitter. Righty versus lefty. Cromer as a pinch hitter. 271. 5 pinch hit home runs. Ouch. And 6 RBI. Overall, 282, 7 homers, 11 RBI. So Santiago needs to bear down. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Phillies 8, Reds 4. Pitch to Cromer. Struck him out. Oh, baby, was that huge. A 2-2 curve that Cromer looked at. And that'll bring up Jason LaRue, who is 1 for 2, a double, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. So they remain loaded. 1 out, LaRue the tying run. Center field, Glanville coming in, rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, that's 2 out. Clark tags and will hold. That was fairly shallow. So 2 out for maybe Robin Jennings, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, although the outcome box is heavily in his favor. Estrada and Santiago change the signs again. Pitch to Jennings. In the right center, Glanville. Take a deep breath, Johnny. They got out of it. Scott Sullivan coming in, 8-4 fills. So the Reds get a run. Scott Sullivan, 89th appearance. He is 5-5 with 2 saves and an earned run average of .317. He's 30 years old, fastball at 90 and a fly ball pitcher. He pitched against the Cubs on the 4th in a 7-6 loss. A third of an inning, 14 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Excuse me, so all out of the pan, 102 in a third innings, 95 hits, 42 runs, 36 earned, 5 homers, 40 walks, and 85 strikeouts. So Tomas Perez, who homered, he's 2 for 3, hit his 4th of the replay, drove in number 26. Estrada and a pinch hitter here in the 8th for the Phils. Sullivan starts his 9th. Strike 3. A changeup right down Broadway. 1 out. Estrada 1 for 4. A double and a strikeout. Fly ball, left center. Griffey, 2 out. So who can hit a righty time? It's going to be the Hall of Famer Scott Rowland, who does not have a pinch hit. Hitting .305, 28 homers, and 132 RBI. If the Phils hang on, we'll have Game 2 here. And quick sim the Marlins and the Braves between games. If the Reds win, we'll quick sim Game 2 of this and play the Marlins and the Braves. Pitch to Rowland. Fly ball, or popped up. Pokey Reese, by the way, at short. He's an 8. And will make the catch for the out. That will retire the side. Pokey, by the way, in the 2-hole. Sullivan in the 5-hole. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Synergy Field. 8-4 fills. Too early for Mesa. Doug Nickel. So a double switch. Nickel, who threw 2 innings, allowed a hit and a strikeout in real life. Scott Rowland now plays third. He's a 10. It'll be Miller, Dimitri Young, and Todd Walker for the Reds. Whatever Nickel can give them is what they'll want. Nickel in the 7 hole. Roland will bat in the 9 hole. Corky Miller is 2 for 3. He is single twice. Nickel, line drive. Glanville, 1 out. Hopefully someone has passed John to Yingling and Haler. Here's Dimitri Young. He's 0 for 1. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Abreu to the track, off the wall. So Young has a double. His 25th of the replay. That's the 10th Reds hit. Here is Todd Walker, who is 2 for 4 with a double. And they're not. Nichols' leash is short. That's a run. Abreu throws it back in, but it's back-to-back doubles, and it's 8-5. Here's Pokey Reese. Pokey at 240, 7 homers and 42 RBI. Nickel wants to stay. Not with that 542 batting average. Cliff Pollitt coming in. Cliff, his 24th appearance. He's 1-0, a 2.33 ERA. 27 years old, fastball at 93. Ground ball plus pitcher. Cliff's pitched 4 nights ago in their loss to Atlanta. 1/3 of an inning, 9 pitches and a hit. 27 innings, 20 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned, 2 homers, 6 walks, and 25 strikeouts. Walker on second. 8-5, Phillies lead. Pitch to Reese. Ground ball to third. Roland snares it. Over to Lee. For the out. 2 away for Ken Griffey, who is 1 for 3. He has doubled and driven in a run. Griffey. Base hit right center field. All the way to the wall. Walker will round third. Griffey's got a double. It's 8-6. Well, Cliff is being a little too polite. Here's Ruben Rivera. He is homered in this game. He is 1 for 3, a walk and a strikeout. 8-6 to score. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. The Phillies trying to hang on. Ruben Rivera, the tying run. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. He swung on and missed. And the Phillies are 3 outs away from locking this one down. The Reds, however, 3 doubles, 2 runs, no errors. They leave on 1. We go to the 9th here at Synergy Field. It's the Phillies 8, the Reds 6. So Rollins, Anderson, and Abreu. Jimmy is 2 for 5. He has singled twice and scored. Sullivan's pitch starts the 9th inning. Ground ball to Reese. Over to Jennings. And Rollins is out on a bang-banger. 1 second. right. So after that delay, here's Anderson again, 3 for 4, 1 out, top of the ninth. Phillies lead it 8-6. Anderson is single 3 times, pops this one up, left side, Pokey Reese. 2 out for Bobby Abreu. Bobby, 1 for 3, a homer, 2 RBI, a run scored, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Sullivan rocks and fires. And Abreu gets hit. Abreu just kind of stares down at Sullivan. The Phillies have been hit 4 times in this one. Burrow, 1 for 3. An RBI, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Abreu not going anywhere. Burrow would love to make him pay right now. Throw to first. Abreu back. 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Phillies. They've left on 13. The Reds, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and they've left on 10. Burrell, base hit left side. Young will pick it up. Abreu will run to third. So it's runners on the corners and 2 out for Travis Lee, who is 1 for 4. A single, an RBI, and a strikeout. Sullivan deals. Fly ball, left center field. Griffey has it for the out. And that'll do it. No runs. No 1 hit. They leave on 1 after 8.5. 8-6 fills. So John is going to pass out here. Because Jose Mesa's coming in. Mesa, 68th appearance. He is 6-6, 38 saves, a 3.02 ERA. He has saved 38 out of 41 chances. His fastball tops out at 90, a ground ball plus pitcher, 35 years old. He got the save 3 nights ago against the Braves in a 5-4 win, but it wasn't easy. We did that game. 1 inning, 37 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And Scott Sullivan, of course, will be pinch hit for Calvin Pickering. Back over from the Red Sox. How about that? Pickering is 0 for 7 with 2 strikeouts. Mesa needing 3 outs. They lead 8-6. Struck him out. Pickering is gone on a 1-2 changeup. How you doing? Jason LaRue, 1 for 3. A double, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. The Reds need 2 to tie and 3 to win. And Adam Dunn is going to pinch hit for LaRue. Dunn does not have a pinch hit. He's hitting .285 overall, 22 homers and 49 RBI. Line drive right field. Going to drop in front of Abreu, and the tying run is at the plate for Robin Jennings, who was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Ground ball might be 2. Anderson to Rollins for 1, but Jennings reaches. So again, 2 out now on the fielder's choice. 4-6. Here's Corky Miller. Corky is 2 for 4. He is singled twice. He is the last chance saloon for the Reds in game 1. Mesa deals. Fly ball, left center. Glanville going back. Tie game! Corky Miller has tied it in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out. And Mesa has blown the save. Unbelievable finish here. Oh my goodness. Here it is again. They're going to need security guards to get Mesa out of here. Oh my goodness gracious. Corky Miller, the backup catcher for the Reds, has tied this game at 8. Dimitri Young is 1 for 2 with a double. Oh my goodness. Don't crash the truck, John. Jose Mesa has blown the save. 2 out. Nobody on in an 8-8 game. Struck him out. 1 batter too late. We go to the 10th. The Reds get 2. And we're tied at 8. Denny Reyes will come in for the Reds. He's making his 30th appearance. He had 6 starts on the year. 2-2 the record with a save and a 6.42 ERA. Denny is 24. He throws the slider at 95 and is a ground ball pitcher. He faced the Cubs on the 4th in a 7-6 loss. 2 innings, 47 pitches, 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Overall, Reyes 54 2/3, 62 hits, 39 runs, all earned, 5 homers. He has walked 42 and struck out 59. It'll be Glanville, the pitcher's spot, Estrada, and if anyone should reach, Scott Rowland. Doug is 2 for 5. He had a big single in the 6th to put him up. He's also struck out twice. Fly ball, left field. Young, 1 out. It's a what? It's a lefty. Who can hit a lefty? Mike Lieberthal will pinch hit. As a pinch hitter, 242 and 3 RBI. Overall, 232, no homers, and 15 RBI. This one has been stunning. Ground ball, right side, base hit. Rivera will pick it up. The wind is now blowing out to dead center. Yep, they couldn't turn that damn DP. At 22, it's 60 degrees. Here's Estrada, 1 for 5 with a double. And rolling on deck. Lieberthal, we can pinch run. Felipe Crespo will pinch run for Lieberthal. 17th hit for the Phils. They have left on 15. Estrada 1 for 5 with a single. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Rivera. Way back there. 10-8. Johnny is on the spot. And Estrada's 2-run homer has given the Phils the lead again. His 11th of the year could not have come at a bigger time. In the top of the 10th of an 8-8 ball game. And there wasn't a blessed thing Ruben Rivera could do. All he could do was turn and watch it go. And then I'll bring up Rowland, who's 0 for 1. 10 runs, 18 hits, no errors, and 15 left on. The Reds 8 runs, 14 hits, and they've left on 10. It'll be Walker, Pokey Reese, and Ken Griffey Jr. in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch to Rowland. Base hit left field. Young will throw it back in. This one's had more twists and turns than a Friday episode of The Young and the Restless. Here's Rollins. Jimmy is 2 for 6. He has singled twice and scored. Gets away from Miller, and Roland moves to second. So a 2-2 count. And they're going to walk Rollins to face Marlon Anderson. Lefty versus lefty, 1 out. Marlon is 3 for 5. He has singled 3 times, driven in a run, and scored 3 times. And here comes the bunt. Anderson squares. It is foul. So they tried that. What was John saying about fake baseball and angina? I hear ya. 0-2 the count. Anderson's got a swing now. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Walker. Pokey for 1 over to Jennings. And it is a 4-6-3 double play. And so we now need to bring in another reliever for the Phils. It is going to be... Oh my goodness, no. Nelson Figueroa. Nelson making his second relief appearance. 15th overall, 3-6, a 5.86 ERA. 27 years old, curveball at 88, and a standard pitcher. Last pitched on August 31st. In a 6-4 win, a start against the Expos. 5 2/3, 97 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2, so plenty of rest. 70 2/3 for Nelson, 81 hits, 49 runs, 46 earned, 8 home runs. He's walked 24 and struck out 35. It'll be Walker, Reese, and Ken Griffey here in the bottom of the 10th. If the Phillies win, we will do game 2 between these two teams. The Marlins lead by half a game, so they would be technically tied at 84 and 76. If the Reds win, then Florida can clinch the division. We will quick sim the second game of this doubleheader and go right to Atlanta for that. So that's what all this means. The Florida lead is a half a game, and they are 3 outs away from being tied with 2 to go. Walker is 3 for 5. He has singled, doubled twice, scored twice, driven in a run, and struck out. Figueroa hasn't pitched since August. He starts his night with a fly ball to left. Burrell in the corner, and somebody from Covington made that catch. 1 out, nobody out. A 2-2 count to Walker. Once again, just like in the 9th, the Reds need 2 to tie and 3 to win. And Walker draws the walk. So the tying run is Pokey Reese, who is 0 for 1. Overall hitting .240, 7 homers, and 42 RBI. You're welcome. So we're coming right down to it, the last day of the year. And the National League East is still unsettled. Philly's got Nelson Figueroa in the shilling deal with Arizona. I think Arizona got the better end of that. Pitch to Pokey. Ground ball to third. Roland scarfs it. Only play is to first, so Walker will go to second. Reese is retired on the 5-3 ground out. So runner in scoring position with Ken Griffey Jr. They're going to walk him. So they're going to gamble that Ruben Rivera can't beat him, because Griffey could. Figueroa was either the fungo or the bag of balls. Rivera does have a home run in this one, 1 for 4. He now has 5 on the replay with 29 RBI, and a home run wins the ballgame. It is Walker on second with 1 out, and Griffey, who was a tying run, was given first with first base open. So Figueroa has not pitched well. Base hit right center field. Here comes Walker. Glanville will throw it. Griffey will round third. We're tied up. Rivera goes to third on the triple. Wow. 10-10. If you're the San Francisco Giants, you know you're good. No, if you're the Houston Astros, you know you're getting whoever wins the East because they can't play the Cubs. You know that Florida's bullpen is non-existent. Then the Phillies bullpen couldn't stop a parked car. Sean Casey is the last man on the Cincinnati bench. He's going to get walked. You have to with one out. And the winning run on third. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .429 overall, 305, 13 homers, 92 RBI. And so now it's Juan Castro at 246, a homer, and 22 RBI. You were playing for two. The outfield's in. So Nelson Figueroa hasn't figured in anything positive. There goes Casey. Castro wins the ballgame. The hit and run was on, and he ropes it into left to win this one 11-10. Wow. Wow. So the Reds win it. In 4 hours and 40 fake minutes. The Reds stun the Phillies 11-10. 11 runs, 16 hits, and no errors. For the Phillies, 10 runs, 19 hits, and no errors. They left on 16. Ruben Rivera, 2 for 5, a homer, and 3 RBI is your digital. Actually, no. Corky Miller's home run I thought was bigger. John, what would you have done different? So Reyes gets the win. He goes to 3-2. Oh. Jose Mesa, again, is going to... That game was Phillies. They led 8... Yeah, wow. So the Reds get 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and 3 in the 10th to win it. Unbelievable. So, it's 1 o'clock, and after this an hour and a half, we're going to quick sim the second game of this doubleheader, and see what we get, because I'm tired. Philly pounded out 19 hits. The Reds pounded out 16 hits. In game 2, the Reds swept them. 5-1. So Corky Miller in the second hit an RBI fielder's choice to make it 1-0. Jason LaRue with a double to make it 2-0. Kevin Jordan, a solo homer, the lone effort for Philadelphia to make it 2-1. Todd Walker, an RBI single to make it 3-1. Ken Griffey Jr., a 2-run homer to make it 5-1. Coggin takes the loss. Hamilton gets the win. And that'll leave us with this. We're going to cancel out here. And so here's what we're going to do. Philly is technically, well, they would need, can they win it? No, they're out. It says their elimination number is 1, but I don't, if Atlanta takes the last 2 from Florida, the Braves will be on 85, and that would be it. If Florida wins, they're on 85. So the Phillies, because the Reds swept them, have a fish. I don't know how you get a scenario where they get into a playoff, even in game 163, because if Florida and Atlanta split, they're on 84 wins. Although Philadelphia's got 1 left. Oh. So here's what we're going to do. Because I've already been doing this an hour and 32. Tomorrow night at 6 Eastern, the Braves will host the Marlins in the Saturday game, because we just went too long with the first game. So if the Braves win, then Monday would be a doubleheader between the Phils and the Reds, followed by the Marlins and the Braves, because somebody's going to win a division. If that game on Monday does not determine a winner, well, first of all, Florida wins, they win it all, I believe. Because Philly can't get to 85 and Atlanta can't get to 85. They can only get to 84. So if Atlanta beats Florida tomorrow night at 6, then Monday we will do a doubleheader regardless of how long it takes. Philly, Cincy, Florida, Atlanta. We're not done yet. The Reds have made this interesting. And the Marlins are sitting rather pretty. And the Braves have taken the cheese out of the mousetrap. Can they sneak through and win 2 to win the division? We'll find out tomorrow what lies ahead. But for now, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Marlins-Braves. If the Marlins win, that's the season. If the Braves win, then it will be a doubleheader on Monday to determine who in the world wins it all. There will not be a playoff because somebody will get to 85. So if tomorrow's stream doesn't solve the question, the Mondays will. I'm Ron Tuckett. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Tomorrow night, 6 Eastern, Braves, Marlins, maybe for the division.